Welcome to another episode of Is This for Kids? I'm Jonathan Beard of Blevins, father of 3 and 1 on the way, and I think that we should go back to old school TV because the new stuff is mostly bad.
And I'm Katie, MrsRuvi. A lot of the things on the list I'm about to share with you today are old school TV, but I'm a mother of 5, and today we're doing a list episode.
A list episode. 5 TV shows where parents are the heroes.
Accidentally.
What do you mean accidentally?
In all of these cases, like the actual main character isn't the parent, but when you go back to review it as an adult, you're like, oh yeah, the parent was totally in the right here.
The reason I'm excited that we're doing this one is because if you look at most movies or most TV shows, like parents, the dad especially, they're dumb.
Dumb, yeah.
Right? You look at The Simpsons, you look at Family Guy, anything like that.
That would be a good episode, like 5 shows where the dad's not dumb.
Yeah.
You'll have to find those.
Boy Meets World.
That's
I could do this top of my head.
Okay, but now you're just wasting content.
Okay, sorry, my bad.
Yeah.
Oh, hold on. Let me think of just one more.
No.
5 TV shows where the parents are the heroes, even though they're accidental heroes. Which one you got first?
Yeah, so...
And I'm going to argue with you on some of these.
Number 1 is one of the most beloved. It's fall season. You're going to hear da la 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 about 10,000 times in your life. If you have a daughter, Gilmore Girls. And I do not mean Lorelai the Second.
Ew.
Yeah, well, in Gilmore Girls, Lorelai the Second, the mom, is always talking about how she doesn't want her kid around her parents are so bad, yada, yada. And if you rewatch this as an adult, you realize Emily Gilmore is the accidental hero of that show. She pays for her grandkid to go through high school and college. She gives her etiquette lessons. She provides her with, good moral, sound, judgment. And her mom's kind of a flake.
But this is 5 TV shows where the parents are the heroes, and you chose a grandparent?
Well, it's somebody's parent. It's Lorelai's parent.
All right. What age, real quick, would you say is appropriate to watch Gilmore Girls?
I mean, we should probably do an entire episode on Gilmore Girls, honestly. That's definitely like a middle school and up show.
Okay. Just let me be clear here, because that's normally what we're doing on this for content, but we're giving some recommendations here. So you're saying middle school. I'm saying that Rory is the most, no exaggeration, Rory might be the worst written television character in the history of television. And she is insufferable. Emily is amazing. The whole show is how Rory doesn't understand that she's the person she hates. The whole show, she is everything she hates the whole time. I digress. My wife made me watch it. She loves it.
Yeah. But Emily's hilarious.
Emily's great.
I mean, if Lorelai the First had been on the show long enough, she would probably be my hero. She says hilarious things nonchalantly, like, I don't believe women should drive.
It's true.
And when she says it, I'm like, okay.
Great show for a mom to watch with her middle school daughter.
I already
what
have
a blessing.
Solarium.
Number 2, The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. So, again, no parents. Will Smith's dad...
Okay.
Is the worst dad in the history of the world.
The parents in the show are Uncle Phil and Aunt Violet. Their children are Carlton or Vivian, I'm sorry.
You're good.
They have their kids in the show, but they are Will Smith's uncle and aunt. But, they're generally seen as stick in the mud, trying to keep Will from having a good time or whatever. Yeah. But when you look back and you watch it as a parent, you realize, you took on your sister's kid who came from a difficult background. You gave him every opportunity in life, and there was no shot you were required to do this. You put up with a lot of nonsense. That kid destroyed your house. And at the end, you were nothing but kind to him.
I present to you one of the greatest scenes in the history of television, maybe in the history of the world. And everyone who's my age, especially the fellas, know exactly what I'm about to say. Will Smith is talking to Uncle Phil after his dad lies to him and leaves. And it's this amazing minute or 2 of dialogue. And apparently it was one take, and Will Smith was real. He was really crying. And he said, "How come you don't want me, man?" And Uncle Phil just grabs him. One of the greatest scenes in the history of television.
James Avery, the actor who played Uncle Phil. I actually saw him.
Did he pass?
He is deceased at this time.
May he rest in peace too.
Yeah, I saw him play Lord Montague in a Romeo and Juliet in Los Angeles, and I got to do a Q&A with him afterwards with my acting group that I was in at the time, and everybody was like, how do you feel about the fact that everybody knows you as Uncle Phil instead of who you really are? And he's like, I do not care. Uncle Phil afforded me a lifestyle that I very much enjoy. Was my favorite answer. It was
incredible.
So real.
Incredible. Great show. Incredible character.
Number
Uncle Phil.
3. You hate this answer. You hate this show for kids. The fact that I'm listing this. I already know you
I
hate
literally thought you were going to change it, but go ahead.
I didn't. That 70s show. This is a show that's more appropriate for middle school, high school kids because there is a lot of drug references, although never specifically stated that it's a drug reference. They're sitting around in a smoky room acting goofy, so you put 2 and 2 together.
Every episode.
In every single episode, right, because it's the 70s. However, Red Foreman is an absolute hero. Kitty Foreman maybe has a bit of an alcohol problem, but Red Foreman is out here like, you know, in the vein of 70s fathers. He's very like, you know, giving people ASS whoopings and stuff. Like he's a funny, you know, very straightforward 70s dad, but he's present. He cares about his kids, maybe his daughter more than his son, but like he's just a great example of a dad that I don't even know was terribly realistic for the 70s.
Yeah.
So the fact that he's willing to like kick his kid's butt means he's a good dad.
We should probably do a whole episode on that 70s show as well.
We probably should. This whole thing right here.
That's
All
good
right.
stuff.
Next we have The Middle.
The only one on this list that I have not seen.
Really?
Well, I read it and I thought you said Malcolm in the middle, and I was like, oh, was his dad great?
No. His dad was very funny.
He was funny.
He was very
But this is
funny.
The Middle.
Yeah, The Middle stars Patricia Heaton, and this is like a very
From Everybody Loves Raymond.
From Everybody Loves Raymond.
She's Catholic, by the way. Big shout out to Patricia Heaton.
Yes, she is. The things she shares on Twitter, though, really kind of freak me out.
Very interesting.
This is a middle-class family, thus the point of The Middle. And that's one of those things that, this was the mid-2000s when this show came out. And by that point, you had your like Hannah Montanas and things like that were being famous and rich was the big deal. And The Middle really embraced middle-class family values and parents that were working but still supporting their children, very highly involved. They've got, I don't know that he has special needs. Would we call Brick special needs? Anyway.
Haven't seen it.
They're strongly involved with their kids in their lives, and it's just great parents. So it's a great show.
There you go.
I would say that one's more appropriate. Like if you feel like, what's that Big Bang prequel? Young Sheldon.
Young Sheldon.
If you feel like Young Sheldon is appropriate for your kids, then you'll think The Middle is.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good to know.
Right around the same age.
And the last one,
The one that you agree with so hard.
Bluey.
Bluey.
I read an article recently where someone tried to attack Bluey and the dad and said that it's unrealistic and it sets unrealistic expectations on dads, and you shouldn't watch it. And I was like, that is the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Did you write that article?
No. I think Bluey's dad is, his mom and dad are both awesome. They're great. The amount that he plays with his kids is incredible. And if you are a parent who's upset at that and you think like my kids are watching this and I don't pay attention to it as much as he does, then change a little.
Yeah.
Okay, play with your kids a little more. Just the other day, I picked up my daughter and I did the typewriter like thing. Have you seen? There's little shorts out now,
Yeah.
by the way. Brand new Bluey shorts. They're like 3 minutes long. One of them, he like treats as like he like writes a letter on his daughter's back as like a typewriter, and he's like, it was so funny. I did my daughter, thought it was the funniest thing in the world.
Had a great time. Did you ever realize what the parents' occupations are in Bluey?
Well, they mention it here in one of these shorts that Bluey's dad is an accountant, a marketing a
He's
manager.
an archaeologist.
Nope.
Yes.
Yes, they say that, but then they make a comment in one of these new shorts that he is like an accountant. Seriously. So maybe they mess up. So he's an archaeologist.
Well, that works too. So the mom works at the airport and the dad is an archaeologist was the original premise. So one digs up bones and the other one sniffs out drugs at the airport. But if he is an accountant, that means he's counting bones. So all funny.
Wow, good job.
Yeah.
A mom joke, if you will.
Pretty funny. But
So,
yeah, there you go.
There you go. 5 TV shows where parents are the heroes. Gilmore Girls, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, 70s Show, The Middle. Most of those middle school-ish and up. We'll do full-blown episodes on some of them maybe later. And then Bluey is appropriate for anyone who can sit in front of a TV screen.
That's correct. If they liked this episode, where could they find more like it?
Go to isthisforkids.com. We're available wherever you listen to podcasts. We're very active on our YouTube and our Instagram. Please give us some suggestions on what you'd like to see next.
Yeah, I like these list-episodes. So if you have like a topic you'd like us to cover, that would be cool.
I've got one that we're going to do next to replace a different one. So
Okay. There is so much content out there for us to wade through as parents.
I'm Jonathan Beard of Blevins.
I'm Katie, MrsRuvi. Let us help you decide.
Is this for kids?